Warning, this podcast is intended for consenting adults. We're talking about all things non-monogamy, which means some of our conversations are going to get down and dirty. Please know we are not professionals, and these are strictly our views and opinions and in no way represent the opinions of our employers. We respect others' opinions as we know everyone in the world of non-monogamy does it differently. Hope you enjoy. Hello, my salacious friends, and welcome to another episode of Pinky and Ava's Pajama Party. I'm your host, Ava Moore, and I'm here with my soul sister, Pinky Greyman.
Hello, everybody.
How are you, my friend?
I'm glowing.
Of course you're glowing. Are you like jumping out of your skin right now?
I am.
I
Yeah.
know. She can hardly contain herself because we have a very special guest here with us today, and she's totally fangirling yet again because she can't help it. Pinky, do you want to introduce one of your favorite people?
Yeah. I want to bring in Dragonfly. And the way we met, if you ever had a crush, but the crush not in an aggressive way, or it's just psychosomatic way.
Psychosomatic crush.
Right, you just like hug a person, you're like, holy shit, that feels really good, and it feels home. That kind of way.
Aw, that's so sweet. Well, we want to welcome you, Dragonfly. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Oh, thank you so much for having me on here. I am so tingly right now. I love hugging, so the fact that you leaned into that with me is so wonderful. Thank you, Pinky.
Yeah, that's my love language. Touch.
Touch?
Touch,
Well,
yeah.
did we all say touch at the same time?
Just keep kissing me, rubbing me, touch me everywhere you want to, and
So
I'm going to be
important.
glowing.
I hear you.
Yes.
I hear you. I always tell people I guess for my birthday recently, I had a 12-handed touch session.
Ooh.
And and I told everybody, at some point you're just gonna have to stop because I will probably never stop you. Well, it got to a point where I had to stop. It was like massive stimulation, but
Ooh.
yes, I love. I really feel like we're all of the love languages. Some of them just speak to us louder than others,
For sure.
and touch is one of my main ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Me
always
too.
has been.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eye contact is another one. You can speak.
Mhm.
I always look at the eyes and I can see the soul
Mm-hmm.
of a person.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, for some people it would be like, oh my God, this is like crazy, whatever. But I
Oh
truly
my God,
can,
this is like crazy. Oh,
yeah.
that's
No, I
me
can
right there.
feel it. Like if the person is receptive, I can feel your inner self. Like it's just like, yeah.
Well, I looked into your eyes. What did my soul say? Now I
You-
want to know.
It
What
was a
my
big
soul say?
event, and it was just you're famous and everybody wants your attention. So you were trying to, give it to me a little bit, and you did. It was great.
Pinky was
I gave it to her.
instantaneously obsessed.
It was a
Obsessed.
quickie, okay?
Yeah, it was. It was a quickie, but it was a good quickie.
Yeah, we came back for
Oh, and I
more
have
later.
to tell you. Oh, yeah, she did. And you know what? You sent me a picture recently of us. It is one of the most fantastic pictures.
Yeah, I
He
love
saw
that.
it and he was like, "That's fabulous of you two." I was like, "Yeah, it is."
I know, and it was so spontaneous in the moment. And what I love
Yeah.
about that, like keep capturing the moment. Photography is such a wonderful thing. I love it.
It must have
Me
been
too.
Pinky's glow that helped
yeah.
enhance the
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah. Thank you so much for everything. And it's just so wonderful to co-create with women
Yeah.
that actually speak my language and
Yeah, I
and
hear you.
and have been doing it for so many years. Like I'm literally feeling like I'm awakening right now at my age. And I always say sometimes like those negative thoughts come into it, like it's too late, like it's like, what's wrong with you? Why were you like not there before? And I'm like, I'm here now, and this is exactly what I need to be right now. I'm going to embrace that, and I'm going to run with that. And I was actually talking to my girlfriend. I was just walking. She's a vanilla as it gets. And I was talking to her, very, very small side congestion, or whatever you want to call it.
Side
Interlude.
conversation.
Yeah. No, it's. I wanted to tell you, like, when we both work in a nursing home, we both service elderly people. We love them, and I told her, I said, when you and I are gonna be in those damn wheelchairs, well, I actually told my husband that I'll kill him if he's gonna put me in a nursing home, but that's another story. If I'm gonna be with you, sitting there, you and I, right, and I'm gonna be telling people, like, do you have any regrets? And I'll be telling people my stories, and she's like, oh my God, everybody's gonna think that you're crazy. And I'm telling her, like, you're gonna tell everybody that it's true and listen to her fucking podcast because she can prove it to you.
Listen, I want to be the one in the nursing home where they're like, do not go in that room because you do not know what you're going to see.
Yes.
Well, I have to tell you too, there is a lot of play. There's a lot of fun going on in nursing homes.
Mhm.
And a lot of times they forget. So they'll go from room to room and not to realize. And there's a really high STI.
Yep.
Yep.
Because they
STIs
don't.
in there.
They're like, oh, I can't get
Well, they don't
pregnant.
test them when they come, but they don't test them when they come in.
Yeah.
And so they're going from room to room, which it's just kind of awesome that they get to be free and fantastic like that. However, let's just start testing them before they come in. That way we mitigate that whole thing, right? Ooh,
They're not ready to accept the
No,
fact
they
that
are
that's actually
so.
what's going on. They'd have to
whatever,
acknowledge it.
right? Just
Right? But
stop.
that's probably why. in all
I
honesty.
want to be 95 in there
Me
and still
too.
doing it. Are you kidding
too.
me?
I'll
I'm
be
totally gonna be
organizing
going
the
from
orgies.
Thank you.
Well, that's why we're doing this work right now, ladies, okay? Because I work in a nursing home and I can tell you it's not a pretty picture, okay? They're completely putting a damper on anything. Even I had to advocate for a female to have a vibrator, okay? And I didn't get anywhere. Literally.
Wow.
She used the cane, okay? A fucking cane.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Well, one of my great grandmothers, when we went through her house, she had vibrators stuck down in all her couches. We found a vibrator in
Rock on,
like
Grandma.
every chair and every couch, and I was like, oh, okay,
We
yep.
love that for her.
Now I see where I get it from.
That's
Well,
awesome.
obviously, pleasure was the goal there. And Dragonfly, we want to talk to you about how we as vulva owners can
Thank you.
maximize and enhance our pleasure.
Ah, that's such a big topic. So we'll talk about a few things today. Yeah. And one of them is vibrators. It's interesting, the issues that people have around them, especially their partners. They make them feel inadequate. They make them feel like they're not doing a good job. But my perspective and what I teach is let's let that go. Because if I can get myself to a place that is more elevated and more aroused, then that means you're going to have a better time too. E
Sure.
has never felt like that. And it's really enhanced my pleasure because I've been a toy girl for a long time. I'm going to tell you the first time, well, I was a humper as a child. I don't know about you two, but I was a humper. So like the edge of like the couch or the table, and you don't know, and you're just rubbing because it feels
Feels
good.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was 10, went to a girlfriend's house, went to the pool, and she was like, hey, come over here, do this.
Ooh, the jet.
Hands
right?
on this. Yes, girl. Yes. The hands
Knew
on the
it.
side, and she's like pulled up, and I was like, what are you doing? So I go over there and I, oh, oh, that's amazing. So that was my first, pleasure toy experience was the water jets. And from then on, it was just, that was it. Like I was trying to get it in the bathtub with the water running. Like I was trying to do it all the time. Then we got a pool. Oh my gosh.
Oh, you must have never gotten out of that pool.
I was always in the pool all the time.
What is wrong with her? I don't know. She just loves water.
She loves to swim.
She loves that water.
And she makes
Which
those
to me,
noises,
Right. I still love water. And it can be very arousing to me. So I'm sure that's a part of that
Correlated.
connection, right? Of
Mhm.
course. But toys, like not just hands, but exploration with toys. And I have such a wide variety. I don't know if you can You can't see it over there on my wall. I've got all my toys hanging up on my wall and on this cabinet over here. And the thing is you can use them to enhance your experience with your partner, but I encourage women to use them without, because if we know our bodies, we have better pleasure with other people. Whether you're with a female body or a male body, you are going to excel and like I just had a volcano come into my head, like the eruption, right? And just exploding all over the place. So I use them by myself, but I will use them with my hands as well. So I will go back and forth. I will play with myself with my hands, feel myself externally, internally, and then I will grab my wand. I love wands. I have 5 wands. I don't know why anybody needs 5 wands. Because I have one main one I like to go to, but I have a couple different sizes. And so I'll go back and forth and play with them like that. Um, I have to tell you that enhancing my pleasure has really taken off when I started exploring my own body by myself, because you don't feel pressured to perform. You are there by yourself, totally free. And now I'll tell him, "Hey, I'm going to take a minute." And he'll be like, "Can I come?" Nope, it's just for me. Okay, cool. I think we still need to do that, whether you're partnered up or not. I think you still need to do that. Um,
I think I need to reignite my interest in exploring for myself, because I feel like probably my interest has gone away over time. I'm always like, "Oh, I have so many partners and I want the real thing." And I know in my head that that's not necessarily the right thing, because I can enhance my experience by knowing my body even better.
Of course, of course. I've always enjoyed sex. I've always, and I've always somewhat enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it's always been as pleasurable it has had as it is now. The thing that when it took that serious, like, was when I started seriously engaging with my own body in ways that I never knew that I could possibly do. Enhancing my movement of my pelvis, breathing certain ways, orgasmic breath. I teach that as well. Like, those are all things that we don't engage with. We get very ritualistic in how we do things. And I help the body expand into different ways of doing it. I now can lay on my stomach, kneel on my knees, stand up, not just laying on your back. There's a lot of different positions, and I encourage you to open up. So, Ava, I would encourage you to light some candles, girl. Put on some music or don't put on some music, because music with words completely pull me out of my space. So I can't use that. If you need a little bit of erotica words to start with, great. If you like visual, if you need some of that, great. But I would encourage you to pull away from those things and just be in your space. So start taking your hands, run your hands over your body sensually, start breathing in through your nose and allow your body to relax, because your body needs that tension and relaxation in the body. It's not tension, tension, tension. It needs some relaxation. So breathe, get your body relaxed, start touching yourself, right? Avoid your nipples if they're arousing to you, avoid your vulva, and touch other places. Start really arousing your own body. Then go to those spaces and go slow, periphery to center, out to in. Really feeling your labias, outer and your inner labias, because what we don't realize is we have so many nerve endings down there.
Right.
So many nerve endings. So if you are going to play slowly, play gently, and build that up. Get aroused and then bring it back down. That's going to increase. That is going to increase so much for you. And it's great having a lot of partners. I agree. Fantastic, right? However,
Nobody does it like you
right,
can, right?
right. And when you know that stuff, even using your own hands, even the spots, like I do a lot of genital mapping and body mapping with my clients, because we don't realize where our numb spots are, and we don't realize where our light up spots are either.
Right.
So being able to map ourselves and to be able to feel into that, and that's something I do at my hips pleasure retreats with my goddesses too. So it's something that we do in a circle. It's something we're all involved with together. We get to witness, which is very opening and healing for a lot of us. And we get to be in our pleasure. And there is something so magnificent about that. So I'm gonna give you some home play, Ava.
I'm getting homework.
Not homework, home play,
Home
because it's
play, home play.
fun. So I'm gonna give you that. I want you to, maybe it's not tonight,
Mm-hmm.
but undistracted time. And that's important. Undistracted time. Don't, make sure the room's not too cold, but not too hot. You don't want it too cold. Really chilled temperature decreases the arousal in the body. So make sure it's at a good temperature for you. So when you start building up and you start getting hotter,
Yep.
it's still comfortable for you. For me, I have to use a waterproof blanket because that makes me feel more comfortable because I do leak in my eyes and in my punani. So if I think that I'm going to make a mess of the bed and then I'm
Sure.
not going to, it holds you back. So
Right.
I
You get
use
in your
my
head.
waterproof. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I put my waterproof blanket down and I have a full session for myself. So romance yourself, connect to yourself.
That's
I will
awesome.
have to try that.
I love
Because, like,
that.
whenever I do, I go right for the kill.
Uh-huh.
I can get
Yeah.
myself off in like 45 seconds and game over, so I will have to make sure I put in the time.
Yeah, because it's just going to enhance. We honestly need most women 20 to 30, some women 45 minutes of that pre-arousal play to get us to where we have the blood flowing in the spaces that we need them in.
Right.
Like, we definitely need that. And we forget about that because we are so programmed to do it the other ways with the other people.
Right.
Right. So by doing that, at first it may feel a little odd. At first you may, well, why am I doing this? I can get this right now, right? No, let that ebb and flow happen in the body. And I know what I'm going to hear. I'm going to get an email from you saying, holy, holy, holy shit. Like, I had no idea. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because that's what I hear all the time. And it's really, I'm so grateful that I get to hear that because I know what it's done in my own body, and to see other women, other vulva owners be able to express themselves and define themselves in that way. And it's not about just keeping it in the bedroom. That's energy you can use in your whole life.
Sure.
So enhance it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to get to it. Wait for that email. Pinky's not going to let me forget. She's going to be like, did you do it?
Yeah.
Did you do it?
Yeah. So it's
She's my
interesting
greatest cheerleader.
how we are very different with her. I am all about environment, like proper temperature, the lighting, the candles, everything, scent, everything has to be just perfect. Does not have to be perfect, but for me to relax, for me to breathe, and literally jump into it, walk into it, no jumping, and she's like, just
fuck me in the basement, in the bathroom, on the back porch, on the floor. I don't care.
See, and I think that's amazing. I think both, the way you're both doing, there's no right or wrong way to do it. That's the thing. But there is a way to lead the body up to enhance everything, because biology is biology, and the way the body works is the way the body works. Right. So if you can slide into that in a different way and enhance it and create different pathways of your body learning the pleasure, that's what we're really looking for. So, hey, if you want to bang it out on the basement, great. However, also do this other for you as well.
Well, I mean, I've definitely seen great value in that with my partners, and Pinky and I talk about this all the time. We call them professionals. They're men who have spent time perfecting their craft, and satisfaction is always guaranteed. And part of them being professionals is they understand the warm up and they don't rush the warm up.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's important, but that's important for us too.
Yeah.
Like, if we're expecting that from them, why are we not expecting that from ourselves?
Yeah.
Think about that for a second, right?
I love that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And sound, let the sound out. That's the other thing.
Oh, that's not my problem. I'm a
Okay.
screamer.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, Pinky too,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I could be in the other room and still hear her clearly. So we both are very vocal.
I have my moments. It depends on what my body's feeling. Sometimes I can get quiet. Sometimes I'm a moaner. I purr. I don't I don't do that, but I have this purr and I have these moans. I'm a moaner. Screamer, I can get loud, but that's not my go-to. And it just depends on I let my body lead. I let
Mhm.
my body lead. So if my body's feeling something and it needs to express it loudly, I'm going to express it loudly. Um, it's interesting how my body has shifted with the different types of orgasms it has from doing experiences like I'm giving you to do.
Mhm.
And there's a breath. I want to add a breath for a second. So a down regulating breath is important. So you're going to breathe in through your nose slowly, and then you're going to exhale slowly out your relaxed jaw, but you're going to allow that exhale to come out a little bit longer than your inhale. That's a down regulating breath. So we're going to down regulate the nervous system that way. But when you want to up regulate, you're going to do fast breathing in and out through your nose. And that can look very differently depending on what you're doing in the bed. So I work up to that, but towards the end, I'm literally breathing. Ah, and you're just like right now, things are tingly and firing in me, and then I go back to it. It is,
It's called
oh,
Ujjayi breath in yoga.
yeah,
Love it. Did you know that?
yeah,
Dragonfly? Yeah.
yes.
Love it.
So I have to, well, hold on a second. I'm a little tingly right now, and I'm a little starting to sweat. So that's the other thing. When you engage in this stuff regularly, your body remembers. Your body remembers anyway. But I call it pleasure pairing. So you can pleasure pair your thing. So when I start doing that, my body's like, oh, this is what we're doing now. Right?
Mm. Very similar to like muscle memory. Your
Of
body is
course.
remembering that when
Of
we
course.
breathe like that, there's pleasure coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So you can also remember it on the other side too. If you're taking shallow breaths and not breathing regularly, you're in a trauma state in your body and stuff. Your body is going to freeze up and it's not going to be able to open up and release and enjoy as much flow as it could. So if you're constantly pushing yourself through sexual um, connections with your body or someone else, you're also going to program it that way too. So
Right.
remember that when you are with somebody, and we're all three non-monogamous. So we've all been in situations to where we've forced ourselves to go through something that maybe wasn't what we were wanting to do. Like I was saying yes, but my body was actually saying no, and I forced it to go through. Well, if
Mhm.
you do that regularly, you're going to have trouble down the road. Your body's going to shut down. Your pussy's not going to want anything
Yeah.
anymore, maybe.
Yeah.
Right? So we have to remember that. So if you want to go the other direction, start pleasure pairing those kinds of things with your actions, and it will go the other direction.
That's amazing. That sounds
I think
excellent.
so too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it could be sensitivity area also. Like for me, I'm actually in the process of changing my bed because when I first left my 17-year relationship, I bought that West Elm wooden bed because I want to be all that,
Trying to be
right?
fancy.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be all that. I'm going to support this environment. I'm going to do good for the environment. Good bed. Did not know that I'm going to be fucking on it. I thought it would be
You need
just
stability.
standing there, it's just standing there, like it's just art, right? No,
Listen,
bed is for fucking, okay? And occasional sleeping, but most of it for fucking. So now
At least it's still standing.
Occasional sleeping, she says.
I had a party where we actually broke my bed. So at least yours is surviving.
I want to save this bed. This bed is really expensive. So I'm in the process of getting the metal frame, motherfucker, and the mattress, okay? That's all. Sorry. But the reality of it is like, I did not know when I left my ex when I was 43, 44, that I can have such a mind-bending sex, like mind-blowing.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's possible. And unfortunately, and not everybody's having that.
I mean, that's so true because when I talk to my friends and I'm becoming more and more open with them, people who are not non-monogamous, they are struggling at our age in the bedroom, whether it's just the same old, or their bodies don't feel the same way as they used to, they can't get as wet as they used to, or they just have no interest.
Yeah.
Well, the no interest is coming from somewhere.
Right. Right.
Unfortunately,
Their
whether it's
relationship.
emotional, whether it is their own bodies.
Mhm.
And I have to say that I turned 50 this year, and I have to say that I feel better than I ever have turning 50, and I have more sex now. And I hear a lot of people that's not their story.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's something to be said for our biology and our hormonal imbalances that are happening these days, and it's getting earlier and earlier. So that is a huge component of your sexuality, and if you are not balanced in that area, you're going to have issues. And I would love if you want me to come on and talk about perimenopause and menopause and sexuality, because it is, especially at this age. And there's a lot of misconceptions about hormones and such. So I'm really big into talking about that and helping women figure that out for themselves, because there was a time when I had so much stress in my life and I was having health problems that the stress was putting me into early menopause. Now I fixed that, but there was a lack of interest in sex. And it wasn't that I didn't want to, I wanted to have it, but my body was just not wanting to have it because there was an imbalance there. So I would definitely say, without even going into it deeply, but if you're losing interest, you need to get your hormones checked. Like, that's where you need to start, and evaluate relationship. Like, where's the communication? What's going on? Are you holding resentment? Because at the end of the day, I don't want to sleep with somebody that I am horribly resentful towards. So I need to figure out how to let that go and fix that too, right?
Right. I mean, I think Pinky and I can both speak to that. We've both been in situations where it's like we were in relationships where we held resentment, and I was to the point where I couldn't even like sleep next to him and hear him breathe. So
Right?
like
You've heard him breathe the whole time, but now it's bugging the hell out
now
of you,
I
right?
cannot listen to it anymore. So at that point, sex was not happening, right? So there are like underlying factors, and when I talk to my friends, they're amazed at the kind of sex in the relationships that I can maintain through non-monogamy and through healthy sexuality that they kind of just wrote off a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is so sad to
Yeah.
me. It really, really hurts my heart. And
Mhm.
and my pussy, because I know what mine's capable of, right? And
Right?
I want that to be for everybody. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care where you came from. I want that for every vulva owner on this planet. I really, really do. I want them to feel the fulfillment and everything that you can feel in your body. And however you want to have sex. That's not for me to determine. That's for you to determine how you want to have sex. But a lot of I feel like non-monogamy definitely enhances your capabilities, because you have more sexual partners.
Mhm.
And when you're monogamous, like, and you've just fixed yourself to one person, you have to be really, really diligent about learning and about exploring and about doing that. And a lot of that goes by the wayside,
Sure.
and in our world, we regularly have multiple sexual partners. So that exploration can come. Now, there's another side to this, that behind closed doors, I hear people talking about a lot of bad sex that they're having with a lot of people. So I want to change that. That's a mission in the non-monogamous world that I'm trying to change. Like, the culture that we're living in, it's not just about sharing your genitals.
Yeah.
It's about sharing your genitals in a way that feels good for you and the other person.
Yeah.
But you have to know your body, and you have to know where your boundaries are, and you have to be able to speak up for yourself and have your voice. And there's a lot of people in this world that still don't have that or think they should be doing something because they already said yes. Well, that yes can be taken back at any time,
Absolutely.
right?
I've
Consent
done
is,
it myself.
I have too,
Yeah.
girl. I have
Mhm.
too. I've done it with my own husband. That's the thing.
Right.
Everybody thinks it's limited to people that you don't know as well. No, there's been times where we've started and something wasn't feeling right, or it was just something, right? At the time I wasn't trying to figure it out. I was like, "Oh, you need to stop right now. You need to come back to your breath. You need to reground yourself in whatever you want to do, or you stop altogether and you don't do it anymore." That's
Yeah.
okay too.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's more about the experience. And again, let's go back to programming, the pleasure pairing, the programming. If I push myself through it, my body may not want to do it as much the next time. So it's really listening to yourself. That's going to enhance your orgasms.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is. I mean, we did an episode probably like 6 months ago, right, Pinky, where
Mhm.
it was called Ava's Secret. And I disclosed to
Ooh.
our listeners that for the majority of my life, I never had an orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
it took me a really long time to learn how to do it and allow myself to have one because I was so concerned about my partner
Mm-hmm.
that I never focused on myself.
Yeah, that's a common thing. I hear that all the time. I hear it
Mhm.
all the time. And giving yourself permission
Yeah.
to do whatever you want to do. It's really interesting when your partner doesn't. Started talking about toys and stuff, and when they have a perception about something that's not at all true, it hinders you.
Yes.
So we really have to understand that using toys, using our own hands to pleasure ourselves is not dismissive of our partner. It's just enhancing the pleasure
Yes.
altogether, and he loves it. I have to tell you, if he was sitting here right now, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, she can do it as long and as much as she wants." And then if she calls me into her, it feels so much more intense for him because I've
Sure.
the blood flows in there. Everything is plump. Like we have more erectile tissue than they do,
Right.
than penises do. So
Mhm.
if we give that time to plump up and really, like, it is so tight. It is so, oh,
Mm. Mhm.
it feels so good,
Yeah.
right? And it feels
Mhm.
better for them. So giving ourselves that permission to explore and experience, it's so vital for our sexuality and well, and our overall health.
Oh,
Think
for
about
sure.
all the
Yeah.
chemicals that we release in our bodies,
My mental health is so much better.
right?
My outlook is so much
Mhm.
better
Mhm.
when I'm
Right?
having a healthy sex life, right?
Right. It does. And nobody really puts that in there. And I don't know any psychiatrist to ask you what your sex life's like.
No,
Right.
no.
Right.
I want to talk about that time when I actually first met my husband and I put myself on a birth control pill, which I've never done before in my life, but I chose to do it. I came to him multiple times and I was telling him, like, my libido is in a basement and my libido is never in a
Mm,
basement. I want to have sex. Like, it's not about sex. I want to be touched, kissed, hugged, fucked
mhm.
all the time. And I'm like, this shit, this little tiny pill destroys me. First of all, my period was like 12 days long or 14 days long. And then it stops. And then I have nothing, like, I have no interest. Like, I'm literally I don't know what's going on. Then I stopped and I'm like, boom, came back. I was like, you see, I told you it was a fucking pill.
Almost immediately, she was jumping all over the
Really?
place.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I tell you, like they doctors don't even tell you that information. Like anytime you put something in your body like that and it shifts your hormones, it's going to do something. You can't expect it not to. Just like antidepressants and
Hmm.
things,
Hmm.
it's going to shift you.
Yeah. Not in a
And
good
a lot
way.
of times not exactly, I was just curious, a
Mhm.
lot a lot of times not in a good
No,
way.
no.
So we have to be aware of that. I'm really thankful that we have, access to well, I'm gonna say this, currently, we still have access to this. Um, but I'm also on the other fence that it's not really good for us either. So it's kind of like it's hard for me because I'm glad we still have access to this, but I'm also like, yeah, but it's not overly healthy for us and it's messing us up in other ways.
Right.
So how can we do it? How can we do it better? That's what I'm always thinking. Like, how can we do it better?
Yeah.
Vasectomies for everyone.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank
Freeze your
you.
sperm if you want to have kids. That's the answer.
Exactly.
And then that's it. We're done.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is use condoms for the STI prevention,
Mhm.
and we're good.
Yep.
We're good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So you were talking about how sometimes men feel intimidated by the toys and things like that. We've experienced where they get their feelings hurt when they have to use lube.
Mm.
And I try to explain to them that it has nothing to do with them or how turned on I am by them. It's just the fact of being a woman. And, sometimes you just need a little help, and it should not hurt their tender feelings.
No, they just need to get over that. I try to be as compassionate as I can, but at some point there's like, just fucking get over it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let them in on a secret that arousal doesn't equate wetness, and a wetness doesn't equate arousal. There's a lot of women that get wet that aren't aroused, and there's a lot of women that are wet that don't. Or did I say that backwards? I don't remember what I said, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
You're aroused and you're not wet. And vulvas respond differently for different reasons, and it can be their hormones, it can be where they're at in their head, it can be that maybe they are holding on to something that they haven't released yet. Maybe that's the body's programming, and they're engaging in something that makes them remember back in the day, so they're just not supporting the wetness like they need to. Lube is fucking fantastic. I use it to give head. I use it
Yes,
in my
definitely.
vagina.
Mhm.
I use it on my vulva. Like, I have so many things of lube. I love Sliquid. And if you go on Sliquid and use the code Dragonfly, you get a discount. But I am all the time using lube. And I reached out to them before I was even an affiliate with them, because I was using their lube.
We're getting to be
about them.
we're getting to be
Huh?
affiliates with them too. Haha.
Oh,
Thank you.
yes. They're fantastic, because the reason why I like them is because everything they make is body safe for my vulva and my vagina.
It's natural,
There's
right?
well, yes, and
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like, there are things in it,
Sure.
but leaving out the toxicity of it.
Mhm.
When you go to stores and you go to things, they have this plethora of lubes, and you don't know what is good and what is bad. The great thing about their website, and you're going to like this, Pinky, too,
Mhm.
is that when you send your people there, they can buy from any of it, and it's going to be good for them.
Mhm.
It's going to be okay.
Mhm.
It's going to be up to their preference of what they like. I like the hybrid. I like the silk the
Mhm.
best. I like the hybrid.
Mhm.
E really likes the silicone for jerking off. I will use it, but you also don't want to use that with your silicone toys. So if I know I'm using my silicone dildo or something like that, I will just grab my water-based one, or I think there's a Sassy one. There's a new one, Sassy, that I have as well, that I will use. So no, stop with thinking that there's something wrong with using lube. I use it to give head, and I've got spit in my mouth.
Yeah, I love that.
Mhm.
Yep, that's
Right.
the way.
I put a couple little drops on there, stroke it on, and it just slides.
Slides.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
The wetter,
Yeah.
the better.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then you just drag it down all the way to the balls and just grab it and you just go back up. Oh my
It's
God.
all
When
slippery,
you
it's so
do that
like
thing and you just put a little bit of your mouth on it, whew, they're done. There, hard
yeah,
as it comes.
if you can help them understand this has nothing to do, it's just more pleasurable.
Right.
It's just more pleasurable for both of us. So
Yeah.
get over it.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, we're not talking about our professionals. You know, our
Right. The
professionals
know.
Professionals
they
know.
know.
Yes.
But
Mhm.
non-professionals, we don't deal with non-professionals anymore. Pinky, when she first started it, she's like, I'm going to train every motherfucker who's coming my way how to do it. And I'm like, huh? Now? You're not professional? Get the fuck out of here. I don't have no time for you anymore. I'm sorry. Learn your craft before you're going to walk through that door, okay?
Mhm.
And
Well, the thing
my
is-
pleasure first, okay? I'm a giver, okay? I'm all about getting you where you want to be. Yet, if you're not able to give it to me first or second, whatever it is, doesn't have to be at the moment, whatever, but it has to be that you want to give because I'm a giver and I wanted to satisfy you.
Do you like going back and forth
Yeah, I'm a switch.
a lot?
Yeah.
Well, not just kink, but like when you're going back and forth, there's some people I talk to, they want to receive and then they want to give, and that's completely
No,
separate.
no, no,
I
no,
like
no,
going back
no.
and
it's
I
gotta
like
keep
going back and
going.
forth, back and
Yeah.
forth. It's
Okay.
it's
It
just
does
fun.
not end there.
It's just
Yeah.
fun. And then
Yeah.
I don't know if you beautiful goddesses felt that when you actually get into the zone and you actually lose the track of time. I always say when you walk into when you step into my island, time does not exist. You know, hours, we always guess on a time, what time it is, you know? And it's like 4.5 hours later. I'm just exaggerating. Sometimes it's not 4.5 hours later, but whatever, like 2 hours, like well, how did it happen? I was like, I'm telling you, you're on a fucking island. There's no time, okay?
Yeah.
Does not exist.
You shouldn't be paying attention to time. If you're
Yeah.
paying attention to time, you're not in your body experiencing what you
No.
need to experience.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
if you need to keep track of time, set a timer
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
let it go.
Yeah, exactly.
Forget about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, when I had my 13-hour marathon, when I stood up at the end, I had no idea it was 13 hours later. It just was like the most amazing day ever. And we were floored that that's how much time had passed.
I love that. But I want to know how your coochie felt after that. Like,
You know what?
seriously, did you have to put an ice pack on her with a frozen like popsicle up there?
So
or
Pinky
what?
says I have an iron pussy because I can just keep going and going and going.
And I can keep going, but you know, there's a time when I'm like, and then you know what I've realized that I love when I cannot move, like when he just fucked the shit out of me and I am releasing, but he's keep going. I love that. And then what happens is like I come back and I'm like, oh wow, okay, great, let's do it again. I learned that like, oh my God, this is fine and I can keep doing it. It's just I need a little break and then I come back.
Women's bodies are so magnificent because we don't have a refractory period. We can keep going and going and going. We can choose to take a pause to get a drink, to go to the bathroom, whatever we wanted to breathe more. I don't know, whatever we wanted, but we don't have to,
Yeah, I
to
love
keep
that.
going.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so amazing.
But I
So
also
amazing.
love that I have proven one of my partners who actually just turned 50 when we met last year. And he came into my world and he's in open relationship with his wife, you know, and kids and whatever. And I have no idea. I did not know anything about his history of sex before, right? But he's very like you, a psychosomatic person, like into Burning Man community, like all those beautiful things, right?
Yeah.
Easy flow, whatever, you know, like hippie. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Great sex all the time. So he comes into Pinky's world, right? And he says, okay, I can go for hours, but once I climax, I can't do it anymore. The first time he walked into my fucking island. And we actually had to watch the time because we had like 5-hour span. My husband was coming back home. He walked away with erection after climaxing because we couldn't finish it, you know? And he's like, this is mind-boggling. I said, I told you.
Never say never.
As soon as I say never, girl, I'm doing it. So I don't say never anymore because I say that and then whoop, there, I'm doing it. It's happening. So yeah, I don't say never.
Yeah. And it's all I've been telling like my partners. I always like I don't have any new partners anymore. I'm polysaturated. I love that. I actually said that to a vanilla guy. He couldn't understand exactly what I was saying, but he understood that I rejected him and he was not happy about it. I love that. I'm polysaturated. When we would engage and whatever, I would tell them like, it's all in your head. So whatever your perceived idea of your ability or disability is, leave it at the door. When you come into my place, we are engaged. It's going to be extremely different. Do not compare. Comparing is a killer of joy. So leave all of that behind. Come in, just breathe with me. Just stay in my embrace and just breathe, and let's walk through it together. Like, and it's like, it's amazing how much it's been growing and evolving in so many different ways. Now, like, one of them is almost a year and a half. The other one is a year. We've been together for a year. And it's just so wonderful for me to see the growth of them and them embracing their sexuality in such a different way. You know, it's like crazy amazing. Love it. When the man comes to you and tell you, like, I've never had sex like that before. And we have fireworks right now.
I love it. I love it.
I don't know what happened, but the computer was just doing fireworks because the energy, okay?
The computer knows.
The computer
knows.
felt it.
The computer just had an orgasm behind Pinky.
All over her. All over.
Yeah, I'm not lying. That's what I'm saying. It's true. It's like literally amazing. So yeah, it's misperceived, conceived, whatever ideas that you come and you make stories in your head and you put blacks and you build walls, you know, just like drop it all. Just come into your senses. We are here for a reason. Like, we have those senses. Use them. Put a blindfold on yourself, you know, like, or the other partner. Experience more of that sensuality by, like, doing a massage, you know, aromatherapy, or, you know, play with hot and cold. I mean, I love that. You know, candles, hot wax. What is it called? Hot waxing, right? That's what it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then, you know, have a little ice cube on top of it afterwards. Oh my God, poof, fire.
Are you okay? Are you having an orgasm over there?
I know. You know that I love that you said comparison is a killer of joy, because I believe that 100%. And we all will go into comparison. And what I want my partner to do is to be open and to be able to communicate with me. I don't care beyond that, because I can show you what I want you to do. I know my body so well, I can show you, and I can ask questions. All I want you to do is be able to receive my feedback, not take it personally,
Right.
and to be able to tell me what you want. And that's what a lot of people are not doing. They're so afraid, and they take things so personally. It's not personal. It's about my body and you engaging with my body. Don't take it personal.
Yeah.
I think they definitely do take it personal. And I think women are afraid sometimes a lot of times, to voice their opinion and tell people what they want, because they don't want to hurt their partner's feelings.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. You know, and you have to reframe that in your mind, that feedback is not about good or bad.
Right.
Feedback is feedback. You know, you don't know what my body's feeling, so I have to tell you. And I know people say, like, nonverbal feedback. However, if you've worked with as many people in orgasmic situations as I have, people's body respond differently. You might think they're not having a great time, and they're having a great time. You might think they're having a great time, and they're not having such a great time. So you have to ask, you have to be able to communicate, and you can't take it personal, because it's not. You don't know what my body's feeling.
Yeah. I can't read your mind.
No,
you
you cannot, girl.
And I don't think I want to.
I don't know. Some days you might want to, and then some days you might not. But if we're laying in bed together and if we're laying in bed together and we are lubed up and oiled up and we're sliding on each other and we are feeling each other, I want you to tell me what you're enjoying.
Ooh.
I want you to tell me what I need to change. Like, that is so sexy and erotic to me. And it's sexy and erotic in a way that is going to make me hotter and me want to rub on you more and be with you more. So I'm not taking anything personal. Yeah. I'm leaving that shit at the door.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Definitely, yeah. And that's the beauty, I would say, about professionals. They just feel us and they move with us, and they are never comparing, because they know each person is unique.
It's different.
Yeah. And they learn that before, and when they walk into this to my world or anybody's world of women that they involved, they know how to feel and connect. And that is just such a skill, you know, and it does not come to you just because you're good looking and you have a big dick. No, It does not work like that. You can be good looking with a big dick and none of that is going to happen with me.
And not know what to do.
Yeah. And
Yes.
it happened. It happened to me, like literally. My pussy was like, no, you're not entering. Goodbye.
Right. Exactly. And what made you know that your pussy was saying, no, you're not entering, goodbye?
My
Like,
gut instinct was just screaming. It's like, it does not feel good. Whatever he's doing, it's not something I want.
your body closed up.
Yeah.
You were retracting. You
Mhm.
were not in the moment. You were
Mm-mm.
not nothing, right?
Yeah.
You were able to speak up for yourself. Most women cannot.
Yeah.
Most women do not.
Yeah.
That's very true.
So being able to know that you can speak up at any time and adjust the situation, and it's not your responsibility if they take it personal, to be completely honest.
Yeah, definitely. It's their
That's
shit. It's
very
not your shit.
true.
And
No,
some
that's on
men,
them.
some men and women also, like, they cannot take no for an answer. Like they just never been rejected. I'm all that. I'm like, oh yeah, good. I'm
They
sorry.
better take no for an answer.
Did you see my face? We're like, well, they might find a foot up their ass when they don't want it.
I know, right? I love that. Yeah.
Or other places that are not going to feel very good.
Well, I'm talking about more my previous experience before being non-monogamous,
Sure.
That's what I was referring to. In non-monogamy world, no means no. But in monogamous
most
world, it's just not, it's not respectful to women, what I've seen and what I've been in before. I don't know how it is now because I'm not there anymore. I'm so fucking happy I'm not there anymore. But it was dry as fuck, and just like, quickie and that's turn around and go to sleep business. I am not doing that anymore. Nope.
No.
Nope.
Good
Nope.
for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. You're reclaiming your power. You're reclaiming your body and your experiences. And I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah. Pussy power.
Yes, pussy power.
Power.
That's why they're trying to suppress us, because they know. They're scared. They've been trying to do it for how long? Forever. Forever. So tap into that pussy power. That's what I want women to do. That's what I teach them how to do in an embodied way.
Yeah, I totally love that.
It's got to be so empowering to be able to tap into that. And I mean, that's one of the reasons why we do the podcast and we do the pajama party, is because we want to empower women and encourage them to do the things that you're talking about, so they have better sex lives and they have their voices when they didn't always have their voice.
Yeah. And it's not just about the sex. It starts way before that. We have to know some things to tap into that for ourselves. So I talk about a lot of that stuff. So thank you so much for having me on the podcast, because my heart is with vulvas. I love penis. I love cocks. I have to tell you that. But and we'll talk about that on another episode. However, my heart and my vulva are with other hearts and vulvas of others, because that's my experience. That's what I know. And I want to enhance them all over the world. I want them to feel empowered. I want them to have their yes when they want their yes. I want them to have their no. And I want them to be able to say, yeah, I don't know, and be okay with that, and find their yes or their no later, and know what that feels like in the body.
Yeah.
So I want to have this power, this pussy power, that feels so good for them, and you can take it wherever you want to take it.
I love that. I want to know if Dragonfly, do you know who Mama Gina is?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Pussy reclamation. Yes. So I'm still waiting for one of my partners who I was talking before to introduce me to her, because he knows her personally. But
fantastic.
That is another story. I'm holding to my pussy right now as I'm saying it. I'm going to meet Mama Gina, and she's going to come to my podcast. Our podcast, my podcast, my baby.
Pinky's podcast. Let's be real.
It's okay. No, without you, it wouldn't be the podcast that I have envisioned. It takes a village to raise the baby. It's a baby.
It does.
Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us this evening, Dragonfly. And we look forward to having other episodes with you because there's so many things we could talk about. We could literally
So many
talk all
things.
night if we were allowed to.
Definitely, yeah. We would love to.
I
And
agree.
we definitely want to talk about more what you refer to, women and us getting older and possible changes that we have in our bodies and how to deal with that. I'm definitely interested in that because we need to keep squirting, you know, that's the whole story.
Keep squirting. She's a very proud squirter now that she knows
I
how to
love
do
it.
Yes,
I love it.
yes.
So that every vulva can.
Yes, yes.
I'm just going to tell you that right now. Every vulva can.
Yes.
It's whether or not and I call, women vulva owners. But every body that owns a vulva vagina, they can do it. It's whether or not you allow yourself and everything. So I can even come on and talk about that.
Well, I didn't know how, I've did not know how. And then gradually, like, hubby started to squirt me. And like, I gradually kind of I sat together with my yoga teacher and she introduced me. She's like, I said, so how do you do this? She's a yoga teacher. She's as straight as it gets. She's like, okay, do you remember when you were giving birth to your kid? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you remember the movement that you did push down? I was like, yeah. She's like, exactly. When you feel the burn, you push down. The first time he did it, I did not like it. It was burning so much. It was just like, oh my God, that hurts.
Burn?
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
That throws me off.
Yeah, it was so what he did in the beginning, we don't need that anymore. But he would take his fingers, he puts it inside of me, and he finds my G-spot, and he just jerks me really hard. And that movement, he literally on top of me. I'm on the bed laying, and he's on top of me, and it's very vigorous movement. And then I start squirting. It was so painful, not natural the way I am doing it right now. I can do it on my own. Like, I can go down on a man and squirt at the same time. You know?
Too.
Yeah, I just have to swallow him, and it's like, gasping for air, whatever, and then I squirt. Yeah. So, but it took a
That's
while.
Your trigger.
It's definitely just stick a dick in my mouth.
Way down the throat, and it happens.
Yeah, but I did not know. Nobody talks about this stuff. That's why I want to do the podcast, because I want to educate women. Please learn the skill. It's there. You just have to breathe through it and learn it. So embrace that. And so what happens is now, intercourse is happening or somebody's going down on me, I just combine the breath and the pushing of my whole pelvic floor down, and I squirt. It's just normal. It's like, and it's a lot. Sometimes it's just a little bit, and sometimes it's like gushing, like geyser, right? Geyser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of my poems that I wrote, my partner's like, you guys are now, we need blankets, the squirting blankets. I said, yeah, get two, because now we need more than one. So it's so much fun. Yeah.
So it sounds like that definitely needs to be another episode for the three of us.
There's so many. You can just send me a list of things. Do you talk about these things? Yes. Okay, let's do all these.
Let's do it. All right. So can you remind everyone where they can find you, your website, your socials, all that kind of good stuff?
Yeah, I'm going to give you, I have a couple different options, but I'm going to give you the one primarily for vulva owners, because I think that's where we're speaking to today. And it's dragonflysomaticwellness.com. Go there and you can find all of the information. I like to keep it easy.
Awesome. We love that. Well, thank you again, Pinky. Thank you. And we look forward to talking with you again soon. Thanks, everyone. Stay salacious.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much, Dragonfly.
I'm going to clear my throat with you too.
I'm sorry. Sneeze, whatever you need to do, because he's going to have to edit this shit.
Well, take this shit out.
I'm going to tell him 25 minutes, 44 seconds. She starts coughing. Because she remembers when she was choking on your dick.
You wish it was his.
Okay, go, Ava.
Yeah.